Hi folks, welcome back. We are on the boat again. Don't panic, we're not going out today. Well, we are, but I'm going to video it for you guys. This video is going to be a little bit different. So as you may have noticed over recent complaints of mine, the GoPro has been eating footage. I've accidentally deleted footage. But basically, long story short, is the GoPro's on its last legs. Batteries don't last very long, it keeps corrupting the memory card. Sometimes it won't turn on at all, even though it's fully charged. We have to take the battery out, wait 10 minutes, put it back in before it works. So I bought, rather than another GoPro, I thought I would try the DJI line of action camera to go with my drone. So I've got the DJI Osmo Action 3, a twin mic kit. So for my GoPro I only have a single mic, so you can never hear whoever I'm talking to, only ever me. This is a twin kit. And then I've got some mounts and then a floating handle, just in case you happen to drop it in. I've also got some like handlebar mounts that I can use to mount it on these rails around the boat. So I can put it along the back and you can get a good shot of me reversing in or up there, and you can see down at the controls and see me doing it, or even just up there and just have it pointing forward. So yeah, so I'm going to do a very quick unboxing video for you guys. I won't go into too much detail, show you setting up and everything, but what I am going to do is that when we go out later, I'm going to try and get some side-by-side footage from both cameras next to each other, and I'm going to do a little bit at the end of this video where I just kind of swap between the two, so we can see the different quality of the footage, because I know very little about this, apart from it was a lot cheaper than the equivalent GoPro, and everyone I've spoke to has said try the DJI stuff. So anyway, so I'm going to open everything up and see what we've got. Right, so let's see what we've got. We'll start with the basic stuff before we come on to the camera and mic afterwards. We'll start with the attachments. So this is the chunky floating handle. Just, it kind of made sense to have a floating handle because, you know, boat. So what have we got here? We have lots of very unnecessary small white plastic pouches. Okay, so that's a locking bolt. And that's the handle. And if you look, it is the same style mount as a GoPro. So, yeah. So I guess we could use that for the GoPro as well, which is good, but it's a nice chunky handle, feels good. You're not fiddling with a little tiny thing. Also not telescopic, but it has got a screw on the bottom if you wanted to put it on a tripod, or I guess a Ronin style thing or something. But you can put your hand to it. Well, normal people could. Put your hand to it and tighten it up so you're not going to drop it. It's got a safety cord. So, cool. We have the handle. Next we have some different brackets. This is to give some different angles, but also to allow me to stick it to things. So I can stick it to the top of the dash, for example. These should just be a few little accessories. So it shouldn't be too interesting. Pull it out, see what we've got. We have two different lots of sticky pads, or spare sticky pads should I say. Not that I can get them out, but yeah, I'll work on that later. We've got a straight up mounting base, and what these do is these clip on to here. So this top ring on here, I don't know how it does it, but it comes out off somehow. It seems a bit stiff, might just because it's brand new. Anyway, but we've got one little vertical bit, one little angle bit, a slightly taller vertical bit, and then we've got the two sticky bits at either side to stick it onto things. So yeah, just a few little accessories for me to put the camera somewhere instead of always holding it. Now, onto the good stuff. This is the wireless mics. So there is the box which is the charging case. So you charge everything in the case, and as soon as you open the case, everything powers up, automatically connects. So it's already worked out. And what we have is we have two little mics for on the people. They have a record and I don't know what that is, sound filtering button, link button. They can take a wireless remote mic like I'm using, or they can just be used as they are. So very similar to the Rode stuff that I'm currently using. And then we have the receiver portion of this. Is a bit of configuration. Configure it and screen lock it, and it is touch screen. There is a little clip. Now this is to go into a hot shoe on the top of a camera or a camera case, and this is what allows you to slide the mic. I can probably do it like this, but yeah, so what happens is the mic slides into here, and then so the mic slides into a clip, and then that could either clip on things, or that will slide into a hot shoe on a camera top. Bear in mind, this is the first time I'm looking at this. I'm not looking at any of the instructions or anything. I'm just working stuff out as I go as usual. And now, of course, I can't get that out because I don't have fingernails. Anyway, I'll work that out later. And then we have little chargers. So these chargers slide into there and allow you to just charge it off a normal USB-C, or this one's an Apple Lightning connector. So everything's fully charged anyway. We've got 15.1 hours on both transmitters, so we've got loads of charging there for now. So it's good to start using it straight away. And then in here we have an instruction booklet that I'll probably never read. What else do we have? We have a little extension cable. What are these called? TRRs or TRXs cables, something like that. I'm guessing that's for extending maybe the receiver. And then we've got some little fluffy dead cats, or whatever you call them, that clip onto the mic receivers, and the USB charging cable that plugs into the back of there to charge everything up. So they don't need charging, but we've got all the stuff, and it comes in a lovely little DJI bag. That doesn't feel waterproof, but it does feel a nice, thick, decent quality, so it's not going to get shredded anytime soon. And it's funny that I noticed that with the drone as well, that the quality of the DJI stuff is really high. You know, we don't use cheap materials. So now the final fun thing, the camera. So there's 3 little boxes inside. That, and then the camera itself. Yeah, some DJI stickers, a quick start guide, and charging cable. And is there something under there? There is. Whatever that is, feels like a tripod handle maybe. So let's have a look. We have, yeah, this is a normal holdy handle, as opposed to the floating one. So it's much heavier, much thinner, whereas the floating one for my big paws feels much better. That feels a little bit tight, but again, it's got a tripod mount on the bottom, so they can both be screwed to, I assume, Ronin gimbals again. But yeah, this one isn't quick release, so that top can't be changed on the one that comes with the camera, whereas the floating handle one can be. USB cable doesn't need an introduction, it's a USB cable. This, I assume, looks like a battery charger. So we've got a USB in there. Press the button, 3 lights come up all orange, and there you go. It comes with 3 batteries. Unlike the GoPro, which only comes with 1. So 3 batteries. but charged by USB. We'll come to the camera last, don't worry, I'm not forgetting about it. So here we have a few more bits. Let's move those out of the way. So we've got another sticky pad. This is for sticking to flat surfaces. Car bonnets maybe, front of the boat maybe, something like that. We have a quick release mount. So these systems have, well, the case has a little quick release system on it. So you can, that goes into there. And then the camera lives on this quick release system. I don't know if you can see it, but the little wings here, you push these little wings in. So you can take the camera off without having to undo the thread and everything on that, as you normally would. So that, for example, just goes together like that. And then we have another one, which can go on another base, or more likely, the floating handle. But we'll see, we'll see. And I've got some more adapters as well. What else do we have? We have another little bolt. It's like Christmas Day, isn't it? All these things to open. Except I don't normally get all these presents on Christmas Day. Okay, so it's got a spare rubber surround there. The rubber surround goes around the front of the camera. Then it's got the case, which is quite a little beefy thing. It doesn't fully split, it just opens and the camera slides in, I guess. It's got the quick release thing for, wow, it's magnetic. I'm going to take that bolt out of the way. So it's got a quick release thing for holding the thing in place. Pole magnet, so it can only go one way around. There you go. So that clips on like that. That's secure now, and then when you want it off, you just clip and pull. Yeah, and then finally we have the camera, which I've never even opened. So there we go. First thoughts is it's wider than the GoPro. Feels probably about right on the height wise. It has got that mag lock on the bottom again. So that's a surprisingly strong magnet, that is. And then it just locks in. And that's firm and stable. What have we got? We've got power button on the side there. So which way would this go? It would go like that in the case, I assume then. So you've got the button there, you've got, I know, power in there. These buttons are obviously door opening buttons maybe. So these side panels open. There you go, look. And we've got a side panel for a USB input on that side. What have we got on this side? This is the big one that has the battery, so the battery goes in there, and the memory card. So I'm going to get those out. That's just the mounting bracket for that. Can you open these? That one definitely can, because it goes that way. Yeah, so you can open everything whilst it's still on its bracket. It's got a much larger front screen, and this one is apparently touch screen, so you can control it better. And it's got a protector over the camera, so I'm just going to leave that on for now. But yeah, so that's it. I'm just going to put the batteries on charge for it a bit, look at how to get it hooked up to the floating handle and everything, and we'll see about giving this a try today and compare it with the GoPro. Right, so I found my first issue with the Action 3 and the mic stuff. So The receivers, the transmitters connect to this receiver fine. You can see, look, as I'm talking, they're both picking up. All works. Now the problem is that this, I assume that this would connect via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to the Action 3. Turns out it doesn't. It has to connect to the Action 3 via a USB-C. So a bit of comparison footage. This is the GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 7. Black edition, I believe. It's the one that I've been using for all my videos. And this one next to it is the DJI. They are both set to 2.7K 25 frames per second widescreen. The DJI is using the remote DJI mic, which I don't know if I've got it configured correctly, so I'll see what it sounds like. Obviously I know the GoPro sound is fine. So the obvious things that spring to my mind looking at that immediately is that the DJI is a lot more wide angle on the lens. You can see a lot wider picture there. The sunset well and the skies look well. As we pan round, the screen is very crystal clear on the DJI one, and the sky vultures are going nuts. Yeah, I think they both look comparable. Certainly on the little screens on them. I'll know more once I can edit it and see it on a proper computer screen. But hopefully that's at least an equivalent quality video to the GoPro. I'll start using that one now. But it's not without its faults. So earlier I said, you know, there was no way to connect that. Turns out there is. So let me just turn this whole thing off for you. So this is the receiver for the mics, and by default it has its standard little thing is a little clip to clip it onto your thing, a bit like that's clipped on, a bit like that's clipped on. So it clips on like just a little claspy type thing. Turns out though that to connect that to this, it has to be connected via USB-C, and they give you this handy little kind of attachment that pushes in to convert it to USB-C instead of the clip like that. Now, just turning that off. Yeah. Now, DJI, really bad design. You actually have to take the waterproof door off so that will fit in there like that. It has to go that way in, not the other way around, because otherwise you can't access the on button. And then obviously you've got this silly little thing just hanging off by a USB-C at the side, which actually thankfully doesn't pull out that easy, but it's also got a touch screen, so you know you can catch it quite easy. So it's a bit of a dumb design. What's more dumb is that I bought the Action 3 with the Adventure Kit, which gave it a protective shell, and you can't open that hatch with the protective shell on, and that won't fit. It won't actually reach the size of USB ports with the protective shell on because it makes it wider. So yeah, bit of a shit design there. What I would have liked to have seen, since the camera is both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so I would like to have seen this connected that via Bluetooth, so that it was completely wireless. So this could have stayed in your pocket, or it could have stayed, you know, clipped to your belt or whatever, using its little belt clip, and the entire unit would have stayed waterproof, and it could have kept its protective shell on. Because obviously now I've lost the ability to turn that into portrait if I wanted that to portrait. The shell gives you, because it has one of these quick release mag clips on this side, so you can turn it around. But anyway, so I doubt anyone from DJI is listening, but if you are, fire your designers for shit. But we'll see what the footage is like. If the footage is good enough, I can live with a few little oddities, and yeah, we'll do it later. So hopefully we have a new camera for you guys for when we're doing videos for the future, and we'll see how it goes. In the meantime, take care, stay safe. I'll see you later, and enjoy the sunset.